Jacob, we can't hear you. I didn't even know the stream started. I was kind of jamming out the music, and I couldn't hear you when I looked away for a minute. Hello?
To do.
Okay. Hey, there you are.
Oh, I just switched an option from actual. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't mean to do that setting.
I don't know. You're probably judging me for my dancing. You're probably
What?
being like, what's it? Nothing. Don't mind me. Just being weird. You're probably. Anyways, you may want to redo your intro.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know anymore.
Okay, wait, I'll do your intro for you. Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome to another stream of 5 years later, where we review aphmau 5 years later. I am joined by Aiden the Best, who is doing this intro and speaking for me, and yeah. There.
That's certainly a method. By the way, is this any good? Because like this is coming from like the headset itself. I don't think I'm even like centered. I don't know how this even works.
I mean,
properly.
your audio quality isn't the best, but it's not
exactly.
terrible.
That's what I thought. Because I pressed the wrong setting when you said, "Oh yeah, it's fine." Like what?
I mean, I can hear you. That's what I meant by it's fine.
Okay, how about?
I couldn't. Oh wait, speak again.
How about this one?
Yeah, better.
Okay, and that somehow switched you as well. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the fact that sometimes this microphone doesn't actually turn itself off, so the whole battery drains.
Oh, weird.
Like the most to turn it on and off is exactly the same. So yeah, sometimes it just doesn't even think to do that. Anyways, we're looking at Stay Away Hussy, Falcon Coin Episode 4.
And this storyline was
the archive.
Yeah. Also, may I say the storyline was executed horribly. Like aphmau, like we never really got aphmau getting better. Like we got aphmau getting worse and aphmau hiding away and stuff like that. But we never seen aphmau get better, either overcoming like the social pressures and not caring what other people think or disproving the rumors or anything like that. We never get any of that, and just kind of ignore that for like half the storyline. It gets weird.
I mean, some people just don't, and also it shouldn't be her responsibility to disprove the rumors that have occurred because of somebody else's actions.
Well, it's not her responsibility, but it's a good step to prove, to quote unquote prove her innocence, even though she shouldn't have to. But
that also raised the question of how exactly I would in theory go about doing that, because
easy by coming up with the person who started the rumors and getting them on tape to do it, which she never does. Which this storyline kind of gets dropped halfway.
But we only find out who did it in the last episode, so obviously she's not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, but she comes off more passive in the storyline versus active. If that makes any sense. Like, she's a passive person. Oh, horrible stuff is happening to me. I'm just going to sit here and have it happen and have issues and then kind of overcome those issues, but not really overcome those issues. It's complicated.
Listen, I might be more critical of that if that didn't actually if many people, probably including aphmau's audience for the most part, would also do that in that situation.
Yeah, but then again, we haven't actually even seen when you're writing a protagonist, it's good to have an active protagonist. Like Aaron is in this case an active protagonist. He's actively trying to socialize and overcome his, well, Ghosty put it as horrible execution of social anxiety, which it is kind of horrible. But that's why she's in.
Oh yeah, true. I've got to give him that.
But yeah. But at least he's trying to overcome it, and we actually see that develop. And then we eventually see him try to deal with the whole Jenny situation, and we see him try to do that. aphmau, not so much. We don't really see that, and it makes it the storyline horribly executed.
I mean, I agree with you with the whole passive versus active protagonist thing. That's an actual lesson I got at university. But the reason I'm not making a statement about that right now is because we've watched exactly 0 frames of this episode so far.
I know we're about to start it, but that's just my thoughts on the storyline. Maybe it will change by the end of it, but I think you'll eventually agree with me that it was not a well executed storyline. Like, I think the idea is good. Don't get me wrong. The idea is good, and the beginning of the storyline is good. It's just the later execution of the storyline and how it carries through the rest of the season is horribly executed.
Oh, so I guess we won't see much of that here in general. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll play the waiting game on that one. That's fine. Anyways, let's get on to, this here, the thing we're meant to be doing with the longest intro we've done for a while. Yeah.
I mean, we're only 12 minutes in, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. I have had waiting periods longer than that before.
We have had like 30-minute long intros.
That was my point. Thank you. So yeah, without further distraction, hopefully, please God, on with the reaction.
On with the reaction.
I mean, he's changed seats now. He's in the back row. Okay, fair enough.
I can't get over how cute Jenny looks when she's looking at Aaron.
I can't get over the fact that he's now in the same row as you and you're still loud at discussing him. I mean, as loud as Bessie ever is, but
Even paying attention in this class anymore?
Probably not.
Anymore, implying she ever did to begin with.
Where she's going to fail.
Aww, so cute.
She's swooning over a guy she knows nothing about.
Oh, Kathy, you aren't you when you're angry. Here, have a Sneakers.
Oh, what? Have a Sneakers? That's the name of the brand this time. Did they? So I know.
No, I think the VA. No, I think the VA actually mispronounced Snickers.
Okay, maybe it's because I know that aphmau uses different variations of brand names in order to not get in trouble. That's a thing that happens a lot. But yeah, having the off-brand thing of a particular company be the name of a different product is a bit weird. That's what I was thinking.
I'm not into chocolate.
Oh well, more for me.
Oh, why? Are you a werewolf secretly? No, I'm kidding.
I wonder if that's an actual thing that was supposed to be hinted. I mean, it was. I mean, obviously as a red herring, but just in general. I'm gonna pull up the actual episode and we can look at the comments later, see if that's an actual thing that was.
I don't think so. I mean, I just think it was. I don't know, because I don't know if aphmau, because I feel like half her storylines are impromptu, and then that makes some of them poorly executed. Half her storylines are oh, I got an idea for this character. Hey, this character I know exists for 20 episodes, but what if I had this plot twist here? I feel like half the stuff like that comes out of nowhere.
I was gonna look up to see if the werewolf thing, the whole chocolate hint, that was a big deal around this time because of Starlight, so that's why I imagine it was oh, it would have been in people's minds. But when I went down to the comments of here, I saw that aphmau herself had left a paragraph with a PSA in here. I just want to take some time to.
Oh God, what's her PSA?
So bear in mind, this is probably relating to the actual content of the episode. Let's see. Yo guys, I just want to say a few things about ships and stuff. I personally don't appreciate, in bold, when y'all hate on other people's ships. I said this before, but I appreciate respectful shipping. We about to get into some interesting and hard topics, and I don't want you guys thinking that some of this stuff that the characters do is okay to do to others. It's not. I mean, surely that would have come across in the actual story itself. But,
it does, for what I remember. But I feel like aphmau. Does aphmau think her audience was so so
actually?
Many
you know what? To be fair, I did edit the description of this very stream to say, don't do this in real life, because I thought that was mostly because I then praised how much emotional damage was inflicted upon aphmau immediately versus how long it took for Ian to act in Emerald's Secret. That was the kind of things I was oh yeah, also guys, don't actually do this.
I mean, listen, honestly, in the prequels, I feel like aphmau gets a lot of emotional damage. I mean, there was the whole Jean thing in Phoenix Drop High Season 1. Then Phoenix Drop High, there was the whole Ian thing and the whole dating thing and the werewolf drama. And then this season, we have the whole, slut-shaming plot line. I mean,
that's actually one of
she has a lot of trauma in these prequels.
That's actually one of the things that I like about the prequels themselves. I mean, obviously not the nature of the problems, but the fact that that stuff that happens to her really, and that's and again it affects part of her development, who she actually becomes in the actual main seasons later on. Whereas of course in the earlier seasons, mostly, I mean, yes, she does take a lot more action there, but that's mostly because other people rely on her so heavily to go through their own emotional stuff. That's why I think, okay, I mean, so that's one thing I think the prequels overall, have the advantage on a few seasons of MyStreet. Maybe not 3 and possibly 5, depending on what part of 5 you're watching.
I would say 3 and onwards, aphmau actually starts having problems of her own. I would say 3 and onwards, she actually has problems of her own she has to deal with.
I mean, I didn't even know about 4 because the problem wasn't really of her own. It was relating to Aaron, and she got caught in the crossfire.
I mean, maybe, but like, she's, I don't know. To me, she's more active in that season than in most seasons of early. Well, more active with her own stuff. I don't know. I'm not explaining myself well, but you know.
Again, that might be because she's done all the growth that she actually did in these prequels. Anyways, there's another part in bold. It's not these are fictional characters in a fictional story, in capital letters here. Don't go being mean to others. By the way, if I'm like reading this out like with like weird like grammar inflections, I guess Jess like really wrote this like in her own voice, and like the being has like the apostrophe and stuff. On one hand, it's like that comes across as more genuine, but also like it's weird for like a PSA to be worded as so colloquially. Anyway, if you ship things back to normal text, you got to be respectful about it. I can say as a creator in bold who embrace shipping, my view on it has changed over the years because of behavior extremely bad peeps. However, there are good shippers too. Don't clump them all into one ball. Everyone is different. To be honest, if there's any show that could actually, demonstrate that within its actual content, it's MyStreet. I'm not going to let the bad folk dictate my content. I'll still embrace what I love, but can you guys just please be nice to each other, please? And then like a weird cat face thing in parentheses or something. Also, it's okay to not like a character or a ship. That's the last part in bold, character or a ship. But don't go to someone's post who likes them and tell them that their faves is bad. Again, colloquial but genuine. That's not cool. Just be respectful and enjoy each other's company in a thing y'all like. If not, pass up and move on. Thank you for taking the time to read this. If you did, you're welcome. It took me 5 years, but I'm here now. It's kind of all over the place. I know. I appreciate you taking the time, and thanks for watching again. All right. That wasn't that bad. It was like, I just love the funny part was like, in fact, it came out of nowhere. I wasn't actually sure what direction it was going in. But yeah, honestly, overall, that seems like the message behind a lot of season 1, to be honest, is like, with Kawaii-chan's arc, don't go too overboard with your shipping, where you lose touch of actual reality and characters' autonomy. So yeah.
But to be fair, that storyline was more or less played comedically. It wasn't really played up.
Doesn't mean it wasn't there.
I mean, yeah, but it's tone that you gotta like. If you're trying to give like a serious message, moral, or theme, like if that was actually meant to be a super serious moral message or theme, you gotta convey it with the tone of being serious, even if it's in a lighthearted thing.
Yeah, it depends on the situation with like how it was portrayed, because like there are some moments when Kawaii-chan, like particularly aphmau, takes her aside and actually really like has a proper like heart-to-heart conversation with her. It says, this is not actually okay. We can't go overboard. Then of course you obviously also have the shrine. So
Yeah, I mean, like,
but of course that was like the setup for the comedic setup for the serious message and conclusion, I think.
I don't really get that serious conclusion though. There wasn't a scene that concluded it, and Kawaii-chan never grew or changed from that. Like, she never was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't ship real people and be yandere like.
Well, I mean, we only ever saw shrines in the first season. There were 2 of them, but we only saw that point. She actually did end up appreciating the difference between like real life people and also she doesn't like randomly take photos of them anymore. Try to set them up with like one spoon to eat with. She still does kind of like weirdly like observe through the bushes, but to be honest, considering where she started out, that's a huge improvement.
I guess, but I really don't see it. It doesn't feel.
You could
like
also say the Zane. You could also say the Zane's scene of like her, like teaching her like the boundaries and stuff, actually also sort of comes into that. I mean, I know that he forgot to talk about shipping in that part, but they you know, the impact on Kawaii-chan's personality eventually was felt.
I mean, eventually, but I don't think that was intentional. I think that was the fact that she was writing Kawaii-chan for so long. She eventually changed how she wanted to write and how direct Kawaii-chan versus Kawaii-chan naturally developing, changing. Because, like, it's been stated before that Kawaii-chan's initial characterization was more yandere-like. Like, eventually, at some point, aphmau decided, I don't want to go that direction with Kawaii-chan's character, and made her less yandere-like. Assumably during season 2-ish, or Phoenix Drop High, assumably during that period of time, is when that
when I said the change actually happened, yes.
Yeah, but then she changed in the prequel.
Well, I mean,
it
the
wasn't an
prequel
intentional
also
character
retconned when
arc.
she got into shipping. The
wasn't
prequel also, I mean, I know about that. It was an intentional character arc because it was my second favorite episode of all time is still this episode where they talk about ships like almost in that same like PSA format, but actually like how a healthy relationship is supposed to actually go, and Kawaii-chan learning the difference. That's arguably what happens to her in season 5 with Zane.
I don't know. Again, I'm pretty sure you just give aphmau too much credit. You assume that everything she did was intentional or was actually meant to be there when it really was.
I don't assume half the stuff was intentional, but I do. But the other half, yes. I mean, if anything, I could also say maybe you give her too little credits at the time. I mean, she's clearly able to put a whole paragraph together explaining her viewpoint when people didn't get the message from it.
Yeah, but that again, that's a person. I don't know. Again, I think.
Well, yeah, both of our stances are personal opinions. It's just we're never gonna know
because like I mentally look that mindset when you're in the mindset of writing in the moment and writing stuff as you go. Trust me, character arcs do not sometimes come out of nowhere in general. I mean, even season 2, despite everything being for the most part planned, Adam having a character arc during a certain episode kind of came out of nowhere and out because I was writing it. I mean, not in a bad way because it naturally came from his character, but it was because when I was writing it, that character arc naturally developed.
Surely that means that Kawaii-chan would have been the same in this situation.
I don't know. Again, I just really don't think so. Anyways,
if anything, she could also represent how the fan base is growing up.
Anyways, getting a call. BRB.
Okay. Well, we'll continue with this now, I guess. I don't know if the actual like shipping thing is going to come into this part of the episode or somewhere else, because clearly Betty right now seems to be the fan base surrogate of like seeing someone and how it's cute how they swoon over them. Who knows? Maybe it was Aaron and Jenny who were the catalyst into this being an alternative to aphmau for the first time in ages. We shall see.
And that will conclude today's...
Oh yeah, I haven't eaten anything myself either, actually. I had blueberries here the whole time. I just haven't... Anyway.
...lesson. I hope you are all paying attention. Our first exam will be in 3 days. And everything I talked about here will be on the test. Office hours posted on the board, should you need me.
What? Class is over, dummy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Remember last year you said,
Aaron just slips away. He's like, I've had enough of this, goodbye.
Talk to Aaron and become closer to him.
It's been 1 week since school started, and you haven't even made an attempt to talk to him.
I mean, you lot could always swap seats. That would have been way easier.
Ladies, please. You can't rush things like this.
She's right. One time when I rushed, I choked on my food. Then I got sad because it tasted bad. Like...
Oh yeah, I forgot that, it was implied that Betty is ace, and therefore, I guess, her experience of love is equated to food. Not sure how much benefit the doubt I'm going to give to that one. Actually, no, who am I kidding? Of course I am. It's meant to be the classic thing of like, well, I didn't know what to say. Like, I guess trying to explain it through a way that whether a person would understand like their own experience. Maybe this is limited to that. You know what? Whatever. Maybe I am too nice. Who knows?
Like vomit.
Exactly. And I don't want, I mean, our potential relationship to be vomit. So I'm gonna take it slow.
What about that girl we saw him with?
aphmau. Oh yeah,
Oh, I wonder why you remember her so clearly, Kathy.
I forgot about that.
You forgot. Doesn't sound like you care for him that much then.
Oh, Kathy.
Oh, and you do? I wonder who else is meant to be a yandere character. Again, it's second time experiencing this is very different.
That isn't very nice.
I do care. I'm just very shy about approaching him.
I mean, Aaron himself is the king of shy, so I can see the boundary here.
I swear, there is no one on this planet as shy as you.
Well, Aaron himself.
Anyway, y'all want in on a game of soccer? I'm setting up a game with some other gals.
No thanks.
I have some work to do.
Alright, but you ladies owe me a game later.
That's never going to happen, Kathy. I'm too lazy and Jenny is always studying.
I mean, I can try.
I love how straightforward Betty is sometimes. Like, just, I'm too lazy. Whatever.
Whatever. See you girls later.
Am I always studying?
Yes,
Well, you never pay attention in class. You gotta learn something at some point.
and if I can be honest with you, you kinda let that get in the way of everything you want to do.
What?
Not that it's a bad thing because that's what you should be doing in college, but you do use it as an excuse to not do things. Like, all the time.
Ugh.
The truth hurts, Jenny. That's why I enjoy food. Food never hurts me.
And what happens now? Does she get indigestion or like a stomachache or something? Is that, yeah. Oh, come on! That was gift wrapped! Like, really? Okay, just as an example, there was a line from one of the Dragon Ball Z Abridged movies where Goku just goes, "Oh, come on, Krillin, the cold never killed anyone," and Krillin goes, "Hypothermia would beg to differ." It's like, there are certain scenarios where the cold does bother someone anyway.
Don't use studying as an excuse. I mean, I'm always doing it. We're in college. Sheesh. That's what I'm here for.
That is literally what Betty said to you.
If Kathy doesn't believe in me, then maybe I can try to build my confidence with her.
I just realized, why is it that I know I registered who it was, but also, like, why is aphmau going to the cafe with Luca and Caitlin again? Ask to hang out somewhere else. You're only going to get bait into drinking coffee again. Poor Luca being Flander high still.
Give me one more time.
You okay, sweetie?
I'm fine. Just had a long night.
Oh no, what happened?
My roommate and her dumb Netflix.
Aw, Tara seems adorable.
Also, didn't she get all of her binge watching out of her system? Did she find a new show? Well, that is what they said on Smosh one time. There's too much content on Netflix. It's hard to choose what to watch next. On Netflix, on Netflix, on Netflix. I feel like if they made that song today, they have to go through all the streaming services that there are. They did that kind of back in that third verse of that, but there's so many more now.
When you're not living with her. Ugh. She's so carefree these days. Be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and splash some water on my face or something.
And when you're done, come finish your coffee. It will wake you up.
See? Exactly. What did I say?
What's up?
Have you ever wondered, what it would be like to live in a world without coffee?
What? Are you serious?
Think about it. Would we have to rely on soda? Or tea?
I like tea.
You know, at some point, I need to just, like, get a spreadsheet or something and, like, you know, count all the lines that Luca says and figure out how much percentage of her dialogue is coffee-related.
I mean, I do too, but it doesn't have that kick you in the butt kind of feel to it, you know?
Yeah, it's more relaxing than anything.
Well, I can see why she's dating Caitlin if she wants to be kicked in the butt. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Speaking of relaxing, we should do a date again soon.
Again? Luca, we already had one last night.
Yeah, but that don't mean we can't have another one. Just because you caught this cuttlefish doesn't mean dates are limited.
Well, that
Yeah, fair enough.
is true. So what'd you have in mind?
That is true. At one point, Mona and I were, you know, having a date date night being every Friday, until we both got too busy. In which case, that kind of like collapsed on its face. But you know, the attempt was there.
Well, I was thinking, you, me, movies.
Movies? Sorry about that. Back and feeling better. What's this about movies?
Well, we were gonna go.
Study! Yes!
Why are you embarrassed? She knows that you're dating. Is Kane still like too flustered to get teased? Actually, you know what? That is perfectly fair. In that case, tease her more, aphmau. Be the kind of friend that I am.
Movies.
Oh, wow. I haven't been to the movies in forever.
Oh, don't!
Oh, really, sweetie? You want to come with us?
Why would you offer that? As to a third wheel? No.
Really?
I'm with you, Caitlin. I'm with you on this one. Don't.
Why
Get
are you
bail.
staring at me like that, Caitlin?
Because she's a cutie.
Oh man, I wish I had coffee.
Say no more, love.
Have you kidding?
The fact that worked as she goes off like she's panting like a dog. It's like, coffee. Coffee. I know that's meant to be like her running and it's like the sound effect of like hyperventilation, like like that, but still, it was funny.
Go to the movies!
Yes, I can. I'm short, so I get mistaken for a kid, so I get kid prices.
That's
I have heard people actually doing this, to be fair.
not it! Luca and I were trying to plan a date.
Wait, aren't you already dating?
Yes, but
Yes, and part of dating involves going on dates in this instance, you know? It works. Yeah.
we still go on dates. How do you think we got together?
Love?
Besides that,
Yes, and where do you think the love mostly took place? Within dates.
Dating?
yes. So we go on them every once in a while. Or twice a week.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, how about I be a ringman?
Are you dumb?
Wing woman?
Well, yes, she is dumb.
Okay, first off, that's someone who helps you when you're single, and we're not.
That is also a very good point. You know, there'd be no reason. It's not like, honestly, Luca is head over heels for Kaden right now. There is no need for anyone to hype Kaden up at this point.
Oh, I'll be your hype girl then.
What?
And what did I say? Of course.
I got the coffee.
Aw, thanks, Sugar Bear.
Wow, that was the
Sugar Bear versus Sugar Pea. I wonder if there's a correlation here.
cutest compliment ever. I can't believe how nice Caitlin is.
Huff.
Oh, I know, right?
And her hair? Can we talk about, like, her hair?
Oh, my Irene.
It's the cutest. Though I do want to see Caitlin with her natural blue hair.
I only dye it a little lighter because I like the way it looks.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you know, you've gone from like having it really light now to natural blue before and after this, and then to highlights after. I mean, yeah, I guess Luca would be kind of curious. Although then again, I say, to be honest, show her a photo. That'll work.
It doesn't look too different.
And she has great tastes. Speaking of taste, I just remember that I'm suddenly bored to go to the movies, so you guys can totally go alone. In fact, I'll leave you guys alone so you can plan out whatever it is you were planning before I came along, okay? Okay, bye!
Bye, F.
Hey, look, she got the hint eventually. You know what? Yeah. Levi drink for this whole ordeal and for embarrassing Caitlin. But also, not going too far with it. Now, I tell you from personal experience, that's a tricky balance to have.
She might make a decent hype girl after all.
Now, where were we?
Actually, wait a minute. That's also somewhat like reminiscent of aphmau's like whole ordeal with like Caitlin and Travis from season 1 as well. How she kind of like hypes Travis up to Caitlin. Actually, it's not like she needs to hype Caitlin up to Travis. I mean, he already, his devotion is much more obvious than even Lucas. Actually, no, they're about the same. Never mind. But he wasn't dating her, so that's why it comes across as like much more significant. Anyway, point is, yeah, it seems that aphmau is very good at actually hyping up people, and that might come into the fact that creator aphmau did embrace ship content, as was said in that very paragraph. You never know.
What do I do now? I was planning on hanging with Luca and Caitlin for the rest of the day, but now...
On a cafe.
Oh, hey!
Oh, Jenny's the rescue. Never mind. I was going to say something, but never mind. Doesn't matter anymore.
Jenny! Hi!
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's good to see ya. How have you been?
I've been okay. Just, having coffee alone.
Really? Me too! I mean, not coffee, but I'm alone at the moment.
Really? Cool. I mean, not that...
Wow, we can be not alone buddies. I'm pretty sure there's some people that might think that Jenny is somehow related to Travis. I think I've seen that somewhere. I don't personally believe it myself. I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure I've heard that discussion somewhere, maybe. It's the hair, obviously. Although I'd say she's got more of a chance to be related to Toby, in fact, because, purple eyes are apparently something really rare that, Toby's family specifically had, even though we've seen play people with them before. So, I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with it. Either that or she's like Sasha's cousin or something.
That it's cool that you're alone, but you, wanna hang? I got like an hour before my next class.
Yeah, sure.
So, how are you liking college?
Pretty good so far. It's only been a week, so it's still kind of adjusting.
It takes a while to get used to it right out of high school, but you'll learn.
Was it hard for you?
Me? Nah, it just, I mean, yeah, it was. I had just broken up with my boyfriend when I got to college.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. It just wasn't meant to be, I guess.
Would make for the setup of a good Wattpad original, just saying. Well, not a good Wattpad original, but anyway.
I'm kinda a hopeless romantic. Or at least my friends say that.
I don't think that's a bad
They're
thing.
right. They're
Depends
correct.
on who you are, I guess. What about you? You got someone special?
Jenny! Hey, I'm glad.
Yeah. Fortunately, Matt comes along. Jenny, you don't want to know the answer to that question. Just trust me. You don't want to know. Wonder if my mic is actually... Oh. Looks like it has some charge now. All right. Let me see if I can actually get some better sound. Since Ada's not here, I will do my favorite audio test.
Well,
I'm seeing sound bites, so I'm confident. Okay. Proceed.
Glad I caught you in time.
I was so close!
I wanted to see if we could compare notes before class. If you weren't too busy, that was.
Well, actually,
It's okay, Jenny. We can catch up another time.
Yeah, sure.
Oh god, okay.
Hey, Aph, if you need help, you have my cell from orientation, right? Feel free to call me.
I sure will. See ya.
Jenny, you are such a lifesaver. And beautiful.
Oh my
Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway, I wanted to ask about this questionnaire. You see, I just was having some trouble.
Oh well, that's the thing. Jenny's always there to help. Then again, her setup for conversing with aphmau, that was actually really, very well handled. Like, you know, she talked about her boyfriend first, opening up, then talked about, like, you know, being romantic and stuff. I'd had her philosophize a little bit, and then open it up to her personal thoughts. That was a good trend of conversation, I must say.
Ugh, I don't even know why my parents sent me to college. It's not like I wanted to go.
If you have such a problem with it, why don't you leave?
I'm here to
I mean, you are legally allowed to do so. Why not?
prove a point.
That you can be twice as annoying to me?
No, that I can pass my classes without having to do the work. The system is messed up, Diana.
Did someone...
Yeah, I still prefer the scene where Sasha has this point and has this conversation with aphmau. Again, at some point I need to do that you know, top 15 like favorite scenes or something from MyStreet. I say top 15 because 15 like magic number from diaries and stuff, you know. I'll get around to it.
steal your Halloween candy or something?
Maybe already have by the time this comes to YouTube.
Oh, Aph!
Hey, stranger. How's it going?
Yes, this is perfect! This is normal, right? Meeting her in person like this.
Yes, it is. You're correct.
Look, the cafe is over there.
Oh, and of course, it's Kathy who sees this point. Wow, there were just so many hints of the only person who knew about all this stuff. Like, if I'd actually I was doing theories at this point. If I'd bothered to investigate who was going about with this, like if I wanted to do that prediction, there was plenty here for me to actually think about. I regret not doing that video now.
Whatever.
You're welcome! Sheesh. Huh?
Again?
Oh, and Diana's there, so
Wanna hang out with me?
the red herring, and oh my lord, that is horrifying. I am going to caption that, and I'm going to send that to Aiden and Ghosty, because I don't want either of them to miss out on this. Good God, why? Also, his ultimate eyes are piercing through the bandana right now. aphmau is dead.
I wasn't supposed to leave my dorm, but I was lucky enough to run into her.
Hello, Aaron. You there?
Oh, yeah, right. I can't let them see me with her!
You okay?
Yeah! Hey, did you see that? I think I saw a cat!
Oh my word.
Really?
I thought it was about to walk off. I'm so glad that didn't actually happen. But of course, now everyone else has seen this, so...
What the?
Huh?
What was that about?
Jenny!
And it's all three of them as well. It works so well because, Aiden and I were on a call with Ghosty. We were watching a Cat Icarus review of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, or as that video is called, Scooby-Doo and the Spindly Johnny. And one of the things I mentioned in that one is because I personally have not seen the Cyber Chase movie, but I have read the book that they printed alongside of it. You know how with kids movies they'll print out books and sell them in stores and small really thin ones and such. Yeah, I say really thin. They're like really wide, but also really thin. Yeah. So point is, I think that was my first experience where I read something for the first time and got one experience, and then reread it again and got something completely different. That might also be because that was around the age when I actually learned to read in the first place. I'm pretty sure I was I don't know. I'm pretty sure I learned to read before kindergarten started, as that was a goal of mine. So I guess maybe it was I must have been 4 or 5 years old. I was 5 when I read that book. So yeah, definitely the first time overall. And I feel like that actually had more of an impact than I really thought on my appreciation of doing that, where it's like, oh, you see something for the next time. Because Harry Potter does the same thing. Obviously, like, all the clues are there. In fact, there's clues to like some other stuff as well. There's one passage in Goblet of Fire, for example, where Winky seems to be like, holding back something invisible, and that's a line that's in there. And of course, then we find out she is. Anyway, that's just examples. There's also like stuff about like for Snape being able to read minds and Chamber of Secrets, which comes back later. It's like yeah. And then that then led into, of course, eventually in the Musical Season 2, when I realized how people were watching the series and watching back from the beginning. I wanted to give them not just a different experience when they went back and watched the first episode of the season, but like the season overall, but also a different experience, given how many clues were added overall when the thing actually unravels. So yeah, if you're wondering why the scene with Felix explaining his whole ordeal was so long, that was part of it. So yeah.
Were you listening to what I said?
Did you see that? That was interesting.
I think everyone saw that.
Okay, my point was, I like it when this stuff happens, and like it when you can watch or read something back and get a different experience, because it adds to the value. And also, as a YouTube show, good tactic for returning viewers.
That dummy.
Oh, and of course, no one else cares about that because, Aaron pins aphmau down, so...
What's the big idea, you jerk?
I swear I saw a cat!
Okay, are you alright?
If you all know, cats equal tackling and pinning down of person. It's only natural.
Actually, not feeling too well.
Oh no, do you have a fever? You're not hot.
I mean, I'd like to think I would be someday.
Oh, shut up, I'm serious. You seem fine.
But you sound terrible.
Hey!
I'm serious.
Wait, this was like the same month that the "man's not hot" meme started. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not the same. Maybe it was like a month before. It was around this time when Big Shaq was making his actual first wave. So the fact that she actually contained herself and didn't make a "man's not hot" reference, that's some impressive restraint from creator aphmau.
Serious, your voice has a lot of stress in it. Are you eating okay?
What? Oh no. Yeah, I just didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
Oh, well, then let me take you back to your room. You need to rest.
But we can hang out. We still have time.
No buts. You need rest. You're practically nodding off.
I mean, the last time you two hung out was in aphmau's room, so what's the difference? Oh, I guess the fact she'll be asleep. Fair.
Fine, Dad. Sheesh.
We have the whole year to hang out.
Oh no. You know what else was circulating around this time? The meme of, when during the bloopers of that one video, the one minigame where aphmau accidentally calls Aaron daddy. If people don't remember, there's like a Starlight minigame. I think they're playing hide and seek or something, and aphmau and Aaron happen to be hiding together, which, bad tactic in that game, because if one person gets caught, then that's it, you're both toast. But either way, I digress. So at some point, like aphmau just turns to Aaron and just goes, "So what are we going to do, Daddy? I mean, Aaron." And then I think it was Zayn and Kawaii-chan who were there, so aphmau starts laughing. Keston tries to recover as Zayn and be like, "Kawaii-chan." Meanwhile Moika's appropriately silent at the same time. It is a legendary moment, honestly. Forget the whole fanfic thing. And I think, to be honest, the reason that was a blooper to begin with is probably because, Jess and Jason have young kids, so I guess to get them used to calling Jason daddy in the first place, she herself would use that. That happened a lot. I'm pretty sure that's what my parents did as well. So again, completely understand that. But it's still made for one of the most memorable moments. And Jason himself then tweeted out the capture of that just to immortalize the moment even further. Look it up if you haven't seen it already. It is, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, if you look up aphmau calls Aaron daddy, it will probably show up somewhere.
Yeah, and your sleep is important. Come on, I'll take you back.
I diss track him, I don't know what to say about it, but just like it.
Need anything else?
Nah, I'm fine, thanks. I'm just gonna get my jammies on and go to bed.
Gotcha. Night, Af.
Night, Aaron.
And now Tara shows up. I don't know. Oh no. Oh yeah. So shadow rustling. We don't see Wolfius, but we see Diana for the start time. And now, for the title of the episode to come in right at the end of it. Because obviously... the shadow is still like framed as a shadow even though it's like clearly well lit. I love it when shows do that, it's so bizarre. She doesn't even find it in this episode. Is that really? Is that it? Yep, that's it. We're in the establishing shot mode. Alright, here we go. Let's bring it in. There we go. Well, I will say the timing of that also makes sense because, again, it would take a while to find a magazine and I guess, you know, a moment when somebody wouldn't see you sneak up to the dorms and everything. So yeah, I guess during the night, it seems to imply that aphmau just like slept for the rest of the day, which if that's the case, I mean, why the heck not, honestly? You're in college, do whatever. It's one of the beauties. Okay, so I feel like we've already like done final thoughts because of the whole discussion from earlier. But then again, those were final thoughts really on like the arc that this started, and this only barely just started it. So I guess right off the bat, I have to say my usual thing of like the title having not much to do at all with the video. If anything, it would have made more sense as like the title of the next one, because the actual text that is in there could hint to people to come back later and be like, okay, I don't know. You know, psychology of YouTube titles is always something that is that aphmau has continued to baffle me with. I mean, it's not like I wasn't going to watch the next episode all the time. I was hopelessly hooked back in the day, but you know, for the sake of new viewers, obviously, you have to entice them. You have to entice them all the time. I mean, you know, that's until we've got the 1,000 true fans. I'm pretty sure she had at this point. Anyway, whatever. Point is, that was like the one thing in this episode that I feel like I didn't actually enjoy. Well, I mean, just the title, which is a weird sentence to say. I mean, everything else. Ghosty neglected to join this episode because it gave her visual pain. I'm guessing that might be more like physical pain, I suppose, maybe because of like the last episode with like the whole social anxiety thing, which doesn't really come up in this one as much. You know, Aaron Shyness doesn't really factor into anything in this one in particular. Maybe I should just tell Ghosty that. Just be like, hey, you know, give this another watch or something. And she'll be like, no, I'm not reviewing it, so what's the point? Anyway, by the way, if anyone's wondering, I know that some people like specifically only watch 5 years later, and they don't go back and watch the actual MyStreet. Well, I'm not trying to do a video series where I replace the original MyStreet. What I try to do with these is like revive the impetus of the fandom to whatever extent I'm able to do. And for some people, I have succeeded. Quite a handful, in fact. You know, I'm glad to get the classical aphmau fan base talking, because I know that, you know, that this is not the stuff that aphmau is even known for anymore. And, you know, depending on how things go in the future, you know, this stuff will runs the risk of fading from the collective consciousness. And I don't want that to happen to my favorite show. And thus 5 years later happens. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, also like, yeah, okay, let's go to the episode itself, because again, we talked about like the larger scope of how this plot point like affects aphmau later. But and of course my description really praises the way that actually Kathy goes about this. But I also, again, I want to reiterate just how good like the setup is, because even though Kathy, Diana, and Jenny are all framed in the same way for that scene where they observe things going on, Kathy comes across as just a passive observer, because, like, you know, she was just showing Zane somewhere and that was it. I'm surprised Zane trusted her, but maybe I guess needs must, I suppose. Then but of course, when you actually realize that, you know, she likes Aaron too, then that whole framing system works so much better, because the fact that we never actually see her suspicions, the fact that she actually does have the best cover up, you know, of being the supportive best friend before she goes full yandere later, you know, the yandere that Kawaii-chan never was able to be. Before that happens, she actually is pretty much above suspicion. You know, unless you're looking for that kind of thing, which I must say I wasn't looking for the mysterious person after this. I wanted to see how it played out, because by this point I think I've made my ghost video, and you know, that would eventually, during season 6, would become disproven. So but it doesn't really matter. I knew that eventually there was going to be a satisfactory answer, and I was right. So yeah, love going back and watching that at the end. You know, I guess if you look at it more from a Kathy point of view versus the aphmau one, but of course it is an aphmau perspective we're supposed to be caring about. So I am curious to see if what Aiden said rings true or not. If I will in fact look back at this and be like, aphmau, get off your lazy potato butt and do something about it. Or if I'll be like, oh, hang on a second, speaking of Aiden himself, he wasn't able to be here much, gotta go. Don't worry, Aiden, because the stream is about, I'm just doing final thoughts right now. As what we talked about before, I'm just saying that it didn't really come up in the episode yet. It will come up next time, because the stay away note was only at the very end. So yeah, you go ahead and do whatever you need to do, and, you know, check in with me later if you need to, because it seems like it's something serious. Okay, as for everyone else here, the other thing to talk about, of course, you know, Luco and Caitlin. It's interesting. It's like Luco and Caitlin are kind of like in like 14. I gotta eat. Sorry, but I'll text you about Mrs. Dysart's Spain off, as you say. I just revealed that to the public. I'm sorry. You know, we've got a few like months before this video airs on YouTube, so you know, we should be fine at your pace. We'll probably have everything decided. Whatever. So yeah. I've been very out of it today. So yeah, Luca and Caitlin. Luca and Caitlin seem like Luca and Coffee are like Travis and Tacos at instance, like the contrast to Caitlin, I suppose. Except for Travis did still have a lot more going for him. As much as I'm a traveling ship, I did want to see more of Luca's actual personality being explored rather than just the coffee stuff. That's why I constantly point out like the percentage of dialogue that's like coffee related. Her connection to Caitlin is great. I don't dispute that for a second. I mean, I don't think anyone that in their right mind would. It's yeah, but the coffee stuff. Oh boy. So yeah. And of course that got my Levi drink. So yeah, overall, pretty great episode. I don't know if that was me being too nice again, or if it's something that people are in agreement of. I would very much love to hear your actual thoughts, whether you're listening to me in like the chat, we're probably talking about something completely irrelevant now, or the Mrs. Dysel thing I just gave away. But yeah, let me know your actual thoughts in the live chat if you're watching it then, or in the comments if you're one of the genuinely hundreds of people that come across these later. So yeah, whichever type of person you actually are, yeah, go for it. Tell me what you thought. I would love to know. But to everyone, of course, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've not done so already. And I will actually see all of you at a time, at a place. Let me just the next episode is a letter to aphmau, which again we just saw, but it's got to be addressed here. Okay, so that's November 11th. That's Remembrance Day. Okay, so that's actually, wait a minute. I realized that I scrolled down through like the actual comments and didn't actually read out anything about. I don't see this. I don't think there's like anything else here. About whatever I forgot what we were looking for before. I completely forgot what we were looking for in the comments before I came across that PSA. So yeah, I guess I will leave you with a poem that was written by Izzy Hayden. Diana or Jenny didn't spend a penny trying to make a girl sad. Hopefully they feel bad. Trying to make a note to try and coat. Oh, to try and coat the love. Sorry, that's a separate line. To try and coat the love, but he hides it like a glove. Don't go preying on a dove. aphmau and Aaron, the love is canon. We all know ending, but let's see how it's told. So continue watching for the story to unfold. I'm giving that a like. So wait a minute. What are the replies like? There's 149 replies. So they like add to the. Oh no, they just. I thought there was like more lines that some people might have added. Okay, that does summarize it like quite a lot with these ships. Even though regardless of whatever is endgame, enjoy the stuff for the moments. Like I said, Luca and Caitlin don't replace Travis and Caitlin. They're just something that happens in the moments that we know eventually will have to end. But let's watch how the story actually unfolds. And as for Diana and Jenny, they are some of many. The ships will not sail, the love may not prevail, but we shall also continue to watch it without fail. So with that, I will leave you and see you at the 11th of November, same time, same place, 5 years later. Until then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. I was already. I said that part before, whatever. Okay, and on that note, until next time, farewell.